What is shaking? Hope everybody's doing. It's rainy. It's raining today. I had to go get the freaking bunny. All of a sudden, I was getting ready to come in here and do the show, and I was like, "Oh shit, bunny's out." Gotta get the bunny. Bunny was out for 2 hours a day. Bunny was not thrilled with me. I think Bunny thought, "What? I look like a pussy? Like if I'm a bunny, I can handle the rain." I'm like, just in case let's just get you in. I was not expecting rain today after 80 degrees last week, and then rain this week, and then close to 80 again. Weather's wild. Like this weekend when it's 77, that's when I say yay global warming. Like right now, boo global warming. So it's give or take. I have a love-hate with global warming. I figure, hey, we've just hooked up with the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, Stephen Douglas Kerr. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Thomas. How are you?
How are you?
Fantastic.
Wait, you got like a mock turtleneck kind of thing going on today.
Yeah, just yet another quarter zip. I think I own,
30. You've cornered the market on quarters.
Yeah. I have quite a few.
Oh my goodness gracious. Obviously, I want to talk a lot about the Cats and Arizona and the Final Four and all that kind of stuff. But a couple of things I did want to ask you about. I saw where Steph's getting close to going 5-on-5 or practicing. Give me the status update there.
Yeah, he played 5-on-5 today, actually.
Okay.
With some of the young players and some of our coaches, and so he's he's trending in the right direction, and we'll see how he's feeling tomorrow, and it'll just be kind of day to day from there.
When let's say when he comes back, I don't know when he's coming back. We'll find out when it happens. But do you anticipate a ramping up period, like minutes restriction, or so close to the end of this? How do you decide how you're going to handle that?
Yeah, we'll decide that when we get there. I mean, we're literally taking it day by day. But he had a good day today, and hopefully everything goes well tomorrow. And then he's got to keep playing. He can't. He's not ready to go out into a game coming off one scrimmage. So, but like I said, it went well, and if it continues to go well the next few days, then we'll definitely play him. He wants to play. We want him to play, and and Rick feels good about where he is. Then there's no reason to hold him out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know him as well as you do, but it had to be killing him to just sit there and watch you guys the last 20, 25 games. Because it's one of those things, too. You think you might be ready. You're close to it. Nah, got another week. And I know how competitive he is. He just watching for play. That's the one thing, Steve, that I hated when we played. You'd hear this occasionally. Even now, somebody would say, "Oh man, you kidding me? You could pay me $1 million to sit on the end of the bench and watch the game." I'm like, well, if that was your attitude, you wouldn't be good enough to be on the bench, so it wouldn't matter regardless. I go, nobody on the bench is happy to be on the bench. Everybody wants to play. Everybody feels like they're good enough to contribute. That's what makes them professional athletes, that drive, that passion. I've never met anybody, I'm sure you haven't either, that's like, oh, this is a great job. I'm getting paid $250,000 to sit on the bench. This is awesome.
Yeah, this brings up a good story I think you'll enjoy. When I worked for Phoenix, we actually had a guy who offered us $10 million for the last spot on the roster.
Did you really?
I'm not kidding. Yeah. I immediately thought of Ben Stiller. I thought this is a screenplay, and Ben Stiller needs to be the guy who buys the last roster spot on an NBA team for $10 million. It happened.
Wow.
We got this offer.
Did you cordially decline, or did you say, "Fucking get bent"? What are you talking about? $10 million to be on the bench? Are you kidding me?
I just love the visual of like calling David Stern and being like, "Hey, is this a cap violation? We're thinking about there's this guy, really good guy. He's a banker, he's but he's a really good guy. And is this legal? Could we do this?"
Now, do you have any idea? Was he even good enough to be in layup line?
Oh, no, of
Layup.
course not. Of course not.
When he went out there, it would have been patently obvious he didn't belong there.
Right. It's a movie. It's a movie waiting to happen.
Oh God. Speaking of layup line, well, like what's happened over the last few years? I've noticed you guys have come out later and later and later and later. I think the record this year was like 9 minutes left to go before the game started when the team came out. And I used the term team when it was like four guys. Four guys came out. Like everybody kind of I just started laughing. I go, what is this? I go, you don't even have enough for a layup line. You're gonna be tired if you do a layup line. What's happened to remember it used to be 20 minutes, guys were ready to go and get out there and warm up. Now it's like, we'll get out there with 12 minutes. We're good to go. What happened?
Well, you told me the other day, I wasn't, I never see when the guys go out. I'm busy, getting dressed and making last minute preparations. But you told me when our guys came out the other day that there were four guys total.
Guys.
Did they do two layup lines where?
No, they did. They kind of went layups and they just started shooting. They just it's like, what are we going to do? This is ridiculous.
Well, it brings up another great story. Remember Chucky Brown?
Oh yeah, 13 teams or whatever it was.
Played on more teams. He was a great guy, and he was a rookie in Cleveland, and we had one of our first exhibition games. I think it was our very first exhibition game. He's a rookie. He's nervous. We play in Buffalo. We're playing against the Knicks, and we're out there warming up, and there's no sign of the Knicks, and this is like Mason and Oakley and Ewing, the bad boy Knicks almost, and 10 minutes on the clock and still no Knicks team. And we're down there warming up. Finally, the Knicks come on the floor, like 8 minutes. And I think what happened was they got stuck in traffic. Because they drove from the city.
Yeah.
Well, 8 minutes, they walk onto the floor. I'm right next to Chucky. Chucky's the best. He goes, damn. I go, what's wrong? He goes, I was hoping they weren't going to show up. He's like, I'm really nervous. He started laughing.
What was your first kind of, I'll give you my first welcome to the NBA moment is a preseason game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we were playing, I want to say we were playing you guys. We might have been playing the Cavaliers in a preseason game because I remember Larry Nance had the ball and he squared me up and he drove baseline and I slid in front of him and I took the most obvious flop. I mean, it's like, one that you get away with in college, like it worked in college. And Jack Neese was officiating the game. And Jack Neese just looked at me and he goes,
yep.
Didn't even say anything. It was like so embarrassing. It's like I'm laying on the ground. I think Nance stepped over me and dunked it or something. And I'm just like, all right, okay, point taken. I won't try to pull that shit again. But he didn't even say anything. It's just like
I love the little hand gesture. It's so condescending.
It's unbelievable. So that's the last time I ever did that.
Yeah.
What was yours? Like you're like, oh shit.
Mine was
the NBA.
Yeah, with Phoenix, and I'm on the end of the bench, where I've spent the entire year, by the way. But exhibition game against the Bulls, and I believe it was at the old Checker Dome in St. Louis.
Oh wow, yeah.
So Dan Marley was also a rookie, and he was like, he was our first round pick and starting lineup right away. Like Dan was a stud, and
yeah,
he's out there guarding Jordan. And I'm on the end of the bench. I'm not. There's no way I'm even going to get in the game, And Jordan got the ball right in front of our bench, and those huge hands. He's palming the ball, like kind of wagging it right in front of our bench. And he turns. I was sitting right next to Ed Neely. Remember Ed Neely?
Ed Neely, I love Ed Neely.
He was awesome. He was kind of my vet. He kind of took me under his wing. Jordan turns, and Dan Marley's all over him, trying to guard him, and Jordan literally turns during the game and he goes, watch this. And then he turns around and he goes right around Marley and he dunks it and he looks back at our bench and he's like chuckling. And I'm like, Like, oh my God. So Ed Neely was like, you probably shouldn't cheer. He's on the other team, because I was like, oh my God, this is, I did one of those type things,
Yeah, exactly.
see the guys on the end of the bench. And he's like, yeah, you probably should not cheer. He's on the other team.
Remember, that's what the Hawks did when Bird was lighting them up and Fratello
Yes,
find them all.
yes, they were all
Of
going
course, they
crazy.
were going way too crazy. They're like, I was like, what are you guys doing?
You can't do that.
I'd forgotten for a second it was Phoenix and then Cleveland. So yes, we did play Cleveland in preseason. You weren't there because you were with you're with Phoenix. Yeah, but that was mine. And then Barkley when we played the Sixers, like third or fourth game of the season, and he got the ball and I got down on my defensive stance, he just started laughing. I was like, come on. Oh, yeah, come on. I'm just trying to make a living here.
Was he the hardest guy you ever had to guard?
Believe it or not, like he would, people don't understand like what power forwards were back then. It was just fucking, it was him, it was Malone, it was Cummings, and you mentioned Oakley, who wasn't a scorer, but he was just like a big bang. You know who the toughest, like one of my toughest guys to guard, not because he scored a lot, was Buck Williams.
Oh, just grown.
Buck Williams was so strong.
Yeah.
And you couldn't move him.
Yeah.
It was like a lamppost. Like once he got position, you just could not move him. And he never said anything. He just unassuming, went about his business. And you looked up, you think you did a pretty good job on him. He had like 19 and 12, just like kicked your ass all over the place. But he would,
the modern Buck Williams, Otis Thorpe, that type of
Otis Thorpe, the chicken wing.
Yeah, Otis Thorpe was another guy like that. But the modern version of that is Jalen Duren from Detroit.
Yeah.
That guy.
Tall.
He is a monster. He is so strong and powerful. He just reminds me of all the old school power forwards, like we're talking about, just locks down the paint and just, you can't move him. And man, he's turned into a really good player.
Very good player. Worthy was tough to. Worthy was just.
Yeah, he was so quick, right? Just go right.
So quick, and the hands were so big, and like he'd spin on you, and then he'd jump. Not that I was going to block the shot, but even if you tried, he could move it while he was in the air, and he was incredible. Big game, James. It seemed like back then, like everybody had a power forward that was just like, God dang. And then obviously that I played center a lot too. So it's like, hey, do your best for the team. Good luck.
I still remember watching you play center for the Warriors against David Robinson in the playoffs. And
that was fun.
Yeah, Nelly had you bring the ball up the floor all the time because it just removed all the pressure because David wasn't going to come up and guard you. You just bring the ball up, 6'8" point guard.
Yep. Yeah, offensively, it was a blast.
How was it on defense, Tom?
Not fun.
No,
not fun at all. He asked me one time, Steve. He goes, "We're getting ready to play San Antonio," and he said, "Does anybody have any ideas on how to guard Robinson?" And I said, "Well, you got to be really physical with him. Try to get into him. Don't let him face you up. Try to keep him outside 14 feet, and just try to mitigate his quickness." And he looked at me and goes, "All right, you can start on him." And okay. So I start on him. I think in 6 minutes he had 14 points. He just torched me. So Nelly subbed me out. And as I'm walking by Nelly, he just looks at me and goes, "Oh, that's the last fucking time I listened to you." I go, I didn't say you had to listen to me. You just asked me. I didn't say it worked. You asked me. You can't blame me for asking me and then me giving you an answer. I didn't even answer. My answer sucked as far as I was concerned, but you bought it. So,
well, I do remember when we were teammates in Orlando. I'm not going to mention the guy's name, but that we were doing that same scouting report thing where the coach says, "Hey, tell me about so-and-so." And Matt Gukas goes, "Hey, Tom, tell us about so-and-so as a European guy." And you're like, really good shooter, pretty strong, likes the low block, left to right, over their left shoulder, tremendous body odor. You said it so matter of factly.
Oh God.
You remember that, don't you?
I do remember that. I wouldn't have put it in writing on a scouting report.
You had us laughing. The whole team. Whole team.
It was funny. I brought up I was talking to Travis Schlenk, who was in town with the Wizards. I got to catch up with Travis and say hi to Trav. And I was telling him like stories and playing with the Magic and playing with Skiles and how Skiles is just so funny. And you told a funny Skiles story last time. And I told him a funny God, what was the Dennis Scott? So I told him a funny Dennis Scott story. I go, we're playing in Atlanta, and we had a play that was basically a 3 down. Like I got the ball at the high post, he's in the block, and I'm passing it to him, cut through, and he gets the ball in the block. So I'm trying to pass it to him, and Kevin Willis is overplaying me. Now, anybody that knows Kevin Willis knows he's got the arms of a T-Rex. So when I mean Kevin Willis is overplaying me, he's like body is way in the passing lane. So I'm trying to get the ball to Dennis. I'm like faking up, down, back, down, up, down. And Kevin Willis isn't moving. So I'm like, all right, screw it. I'm going to give him one last fake, and then I'm going to do a rip through and take it to the bucket. So that's exactly what I did. Faked it to Dennis, rip through, bucket, and one. Skiles comes up to me, slaps me on the ass. Nice move. Dennis Scott comes up to me and he goes, hey, bro, give me the ball. That's my play.
Thanks. Yeah.
I was like, were you going to do any better than getting 3 points in the possession? What the hell? All right, so before we get to Arizona, I got to ask you 2 things. Really, really cool stuff. I'm sure you probably didn't even want it to come out, but the letter you wrote John Schneider, the manager of the Blue Jays, I just thought that was so cool that you were empathetic to what he was going through because you had been through that before, and just that you saw that, and we all know how big a baseball fan you are, that you saw that just watching the game, and that made you want to write him a letter. Talk about that, watching and seeing him, and I mean the devastation of losing that game. They were Rojas doesn't hit a home run there, they win the World Series. That's how close.
Yeah, and they almost won Game 6 the night before. So
exactly. I mean, talk about what you saw and what you felt and what compelled you to write that to him.
Well, I as a Dodger fan, I mean, I watched every game. There were a couple games where we were playing. It was early in our season, and so I might have missed a few innings here and there. But basically, I watched the whole series, and I really was impressed by his interviews, the way he interacted with his players, the way he handled defeat. He just seemed like an awesome guy and a really good leader. And then when they lost, I just we've been there. We lost game 7 and 16, and if you're a coach in sports, you're gonna experience heartbreak. It's just part of it. But it's so hard to deal with, and so I don't know. I thought I'd just write him a note to tell him how impressed I was with him. I didn't expect it to be public, but he texted me the other day. We texted, and so I'm hoping to meet him sometime. He seems like a great guy, and but yeah, it was just seemed like a good thing to do.
Yeah, no, I mean that's super cool. It really is. I have expected you at the end of the note to go, "Kapow, motherfucker, Dodgers won."
No. I'd have to know him a little bit better.
Yeah, that probably would have been rude. That would have been rude. What did you think as a former? And I'm going to ask you a couple of questions on this, so we'll see how well you know your NBA coaches of the year. You've won an NBA Coach of the Year once before. What did you think of Joe Mazzulla saying it's a stupid award? He might be the angriest coach. He's like underrated angry. He's funny.
He is. I love Joe. He's a great quote. He just it all seems genuine too. He's just no nonsense, and but he's a really good coach, and he 100% deserves to be in the one of the finalists for that. Yeah, that award. But I loved it. Like it's. And I think he started. I read the article, and he was like, it started out by saying, those coach of the month awards are worthless.
Yeah.
And so I just found it very amusing. But I like that. I like that about Joe. He's no nonsense.
But it isn't. I mean, it is a worthwhile award.
Yeah, I think it's
I mean, we have to agree it's a worthwhile. Yeah. Now, I don't buy into it a lot because here's the problem I have with it. You've won 4 championships, you've won 1. Phil's won 6, 9. He's won 1.
1?
I think 1. Right.
Wow.
I don't think Phil has won with the Lakers. I think he won 1 with the Bulls when he won 72. I think when you won, you guys won 73. So, I mean, what are we judging it on? Are we judging, because we always seem to be judging Coach of the Year on who does the most with the least.
Mm-hmm.
So we're asking the writers to assess who has the least amount of talent. We're turning them into scouts. Like, okay, expectations weren't high for these guys. Mm-hmm. Well, you guys gave them the expectations. Maybe you guys screwed up in giving them low expectations. So now they've exceeded them, and you're like, well, hey, that guy's Coach of the Year. We give him Coach of the Year. Yeah. Somebody asked me when I was working for NBC, who do you think Coach of the Year should be? And I go, whoever has the most wins. How can you do better than that? How can you have the most win? How can you do better than having the most wins in the league? That's kind of the goal here. So I don't know. I don't like the fact that we ask writers to assess talent and the people that vote for it to assess talent and who did the most with the least. That's the part. I think it's a worthwhile award. I just don't like that part of it.
Well, the other part of the media voting on these awards is that a lot of players, their contracts depend on being named first team, second team. So in effect, the media is determining, what a guy's max contract would be. So I remember Clay missed out on all NBA third team by 1 vote. And so, I mean, we're not worried about how much money Clay has made, but cost him a lot of money because he didn't that third team. And I don't know exactly how much, but it does seem weird that the media and their voting can determine player salaries. I don't.
I don't love it either, but you can't. Everybody's like, well, let the players vote. I'm like, no. We let the players vote for awards when I was playing. Somebody voted for Manute Bol for MVP. Players. Trust me. I was surprised when I don't know if you were surprised. I was surprised my first year in the NBA how little players knew about what goes on in sports, like just in general. Forget football and baseball. Just in their own sport, they might not have any idea I just figured everybody that played in the NBA was a sports fan. I was really wrong.
Yeah.
Did you find the same?
Yeah, totally. And by the way, I think you were the one who voted for Manute for MVP.
No, that was not maybe. I don't think maybe possible.
But if you had a couple of beers when you filled out your ballot, you might have.
I might have. I might have.
Players can't vote on that stuff because they're not serious enough about it. And every year they do those player polls, and they're not official or anything, but that's exactly what happens. They start throwing around MVP votes for the 12th man, and they're laughing about it.
So exactly. All right, a couple quick trivia questions for Coach of the Year. Let's see if you can get these. Okay. Who is the coach who has the most years, biggest gap? However, I'm not phrasing it correctly, but the biggest gap between wins, Coach of the Year wins. I'll give you a clue. It's 26 years between Coach of the Year wins. Between Coach of the Year wins.
Well, that kind of narrows it down. How many coaches coached for that long?
Yep.
I'll go with Jerry Sloan.
Nope.
No. So it's probably somebody who coached one team and then a totally different team 26 years ago.
Correct.
Yeah. How about Dick Motta?
Great. No.
Damn. No. Bill Fitch?
Nope. He was an announcer.
He was an announcer.
I'll tell you what, you got to be happy. You're going inside. You're getting your 55% shooting, but it's not going to matter if they keep.
Hubie. Yes.
Hubie.
Oh, that's awesome.
The Atlanta Hawks in 78.
Wow.
And then the Memphis Grizzlies in 2000.
Yeah, that's right.
2004.
That's great.
So I think that was the record, although I didn't scour it because it could be Dick Motto was a great. That was a great call. Okay, who has the worst record? Now I didn't know this. Who has the worst record for a coach of the year? One coach of the year with the worst record.
And can you tell me how many wins?
33 wins.
33 wins? Anyone
33 wins. Yep.
Man, the rest of the league must have had lousy seasons.
Well, the expectations were they're going to win 15.
Yeah.
So they said, "Oh God, what a great job he did."
I have no
Johnny Red Kerr.
Oh.
I thought the same thing you did. I go, how's somebody win a coach of the year with 33 wins? That's ridiculous. So I looked it up.
Johnny, rest his soul. He was in Chicago doing TV when I played for the Bulls.
Was he?
Yeah, and Johnny was awesome. But he loved to have a good time. He had a restaurant, in every city, and he'd be out, having a couple beers. And every once in a while, with the same last name, I would check out of the hotel and I'd go, "I'm sorry, but there's a $330 bar tab. I didn't even go to the bar." And it was red. It was Johnny. So they just got the wrong Kerr.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Several times, but
that's hilarious.
He loved going to the hotel bar and just told me.
So he won it with the Bulls. They were an expansion team that year. That's why he got it, because he led the expansion Bulls to the playoffs.
Yeah.
With a 33 win record, which is pretty cool. All right, I'm going to get to Arizona, but you've led me down another path that I wanted to ask you because you're talking about Johnny Kerr. Did you ever meet or have beers with Harry Carey when you were in Chicago?
No,
you didn't. Oh,
I wish, but I think I met him, but I never.
Did you?
With him. Yeah.
God, how great would that have been?
Oh man, what a!
I would literally if I could fly halfway across country. I'd fly across to have a beer with. I mean, can you imagine having a beer with Harry Carey? that'd be incredible. And one of my biggest regrets, and I know you've I shouldn't say I know you've probably met him, but is not going over to Oracle Park when the Dodgers were in town to meet Vin Scully and say hi to Vin Scully. I kick myself every time I think about that because I know. Dave knows him and all the giant that did Kipe and Kruk and John. They all know. And I loved Vin. I loved listening to him. I loved watching him. I had a chance to go over there and just say hi and introduce myself. I wish I would have. I kind of messed that one up. You've probably met him, haven't you?
I met him because he lived in Pacific Palisades when I was growing up.
Oh.
Yeah, and so every once in a while we would see him, walking around town, and of course, my buddies and I, we couldn't resist.
Of course,
very pleasant. Good afternoon to you, Vin. He'd give us the wave. He'd probably chuckle and then muttered like stupid kids. But he was the nicest man, and so we went to school with his kids, and he was. He was always hanging around the Palisades, and then he was the voice of my childhood. I mean, back then there were the home games weren't on TV; only the road games were on TV, and so everything was about the radio. And one of my great visuals of my childhood was going to the beach in the summer. And, you'd go on a Sunday, my family and I would go all the time, and there'd be families up and down the beach with their transistor radios on listening to the Dodger game. And you just hear Vin's voice everywhere. And these days you don't hear the radio anymore because everybody's got everything on their phone. But that was pretty cool. That's not a bad way to grow up. Sitting on the beach, listening to Vin talk about a Dodger game. It's not bad.
No, that's not bad. Do you remember getting a little transistor radio and putting it underneath the
Oh, yeah.
covers and like,
Oh,
yeah, I
yeah.
did.
My
I did the
brother and
same
I
thing.
in our room, we couldn't, we weren't supposed to be up, and
Yeah.
we'd have it under the pillow, and mom and dad's coming in to check on us, turn it down real quick.
Yeah.
You guys you and Jeffrey do that too?
Well, I did. Jeffrey was 10 years younger than me, so
Yeah.
he wasn't really. I don't think he was really into it. And by the time he kind of got into, he was never as into sports as much as I was.
Yeah.
But by the time he kind of got into it, I was already 20, 21. And I was gone. But those were, and that's the one thing I talked about it last week, Steve. Like, I love about baseball. I love watching baseball anyway, but it's a companion sport during the summer. Like, it's always there with you. You turn it on at night. You listen to it on the radio, driving in your car. It's like, if you get 4 months of baseball, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of baseball.
Yeah. And especially when you have good announcing crew like we do here with the Giants. Those guys are awesome.
Incredible.
I love listening to their group, but there's something special about like a summer long following the season. Enjoying your team, enjoying the broadcast. It's like you said, always there.
Yep. No, they got Ohtani pitching tonight.
Is that right?
Yep, right. It's going to be his first start of the year, so I definitely have to tune into that. It's always
Giants got their first win of the year last night. I saw that in San Diego.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be an easy one. Then it we tightened up a little bit in the ninth inning. It's like, ooh, little sphincteritis. Votella gets his first win though. So give me your thoughts on the Arizona team. And I mean, I've talked about them a lot. Why they're so enjoyable. What makes them easily embraceable. Give me your thoughts on the team and Coach Lloyd and just the whole deal.
I love that it's old school basketball. They really own the paint. They don't really turn it over. They take care of the ball, and they don't really shoot many threes. And it kind of goes against the modern basketball philosophy. To me, watching them has really exposed the difference between the college game and the pro game. The pro game is so 3-point happy. And you do have some coaches, who are really leaning into the threes and shooting a ton of threes. But, yeah, Tommy's kind of old school. They're pounding everybody inside, scoring 1 million paint points, controlling the game at the foul line and defensively. They may meet their match, though, in Michigan. That team is enormous.
Ooh, man.
And they do shoot threes. So
they do.
I'm a little nervous about the matchup, but really excited that we're in the Final Four for the first time in 25 years. It's awesome.
No, I know. What do you mean some coaches are leaning into threes? You're one of them, motherfucker.
Guilty as charged.
Some coaches, I don't know who they are. They're around here somewhere. Oh, God.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say it may change a little bit with Porzingis, even though he does shoot threes. God, he's got the easiest 3-point shot I think I've ever seen. It's like 25 feet, and he's just tossing darts. Whoosh, whoosh. But he's also shown the ability to get inside too.
Yeah. And that's what he did in Boston. Like when people would switch everything against the Celtics, he'd just go to the nail, foul line, post up, shoot that turnaround 15-footer. And he's money in that case. And we're really leaning into him now, without Steph, without Jimmy. Kristaps is the guy who can create an advantage for us, a rotation. So if we play through him, he takes great care of the ball. He's really quite a weapon. It really does get me excited about, Steph's possible return. But then I can't help but think about, man, if we had Jimmy and Steph and Kristaps together, that would have been really nice. But
that would have been fun to see.
Was not meant to be this year. Yeah.
No, hopefully next year at some point, if the stars align, all three of them will be together. So when you look at now let me ask you about Michigan, because I said the same thing. I go, wow, this is a team that size versus size, like they've met their match, size versus size. Like both teams are going to find it to be a little a little tougher sledding in the paint than they usually find it, because the other team's going to be just as big as them. I think Arizona's guards are a little bit better. I think Arizona's defense is a little bit better. But what you said is what worries me a little bit, is that they have the ability to hit 12 threes in a game, and that's not really Arizona's game. It's going to be a hell of a basketball. It really is going to be a hell of a basketball game. I'm really, really excited, a little bit nervous, because I'd love to see him get to the finals, but boy, this is going to be a battle royale.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing game, and kind of reminds me a little bit, hopefully a better outcome. But when we played Oklahoma in '88, both teams were 35-2 and number 1 and number 2 in the country, and playing in the semi instead of the final. And so if you're on the other side of your UConn or Illinois, I think it's you got a chance if you can sneak through and get to that final after the brawl on Saturday with Michigan and Arizona. I think the team on the other side of the bracket has a real chance, because remember that year Oklahoma beat us, and then Kansas had like 10 losses with Danny Manning. He just was incredible. He had like 38 and 15 or something, and they beat Oklahoma in the final on that Monday night. So it's going to be a great Final Four, though. Some really good talent.
What did it mean to you when Tommy shouted out Coach O?
That was so cool.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. Although, when he said it, he said, there's a – what did he say? There's a
white-haired, good-looking white-haired gentleman who's pretty happy right now.
I turned to Margot. I said, is he talking about me? No, sorry. She goes, you're not in heaven. I was like, oh yeah, good point.
And you're not completely white. You're going that way. Although when I see pictures of you from 2015, I'm like, oh man, that guy's aged. Holy shit.
Isn't that the truth? But that was so cool. Tommy, that's what I love about him. Like, he has done such a great job of embracing all of us. The old guys, and embracing the tradition and the culture that Lute created, and he has really embraced the history and brought us all in. Tommy just gets it, and to mention Lute in front of all the fans, such a great touch, and he's awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna send him a little note. I saw this. I don't know if it was true or not. It said it was verified, so who knows? But it was like some sort of poll, or some sort of, like, they were talking about quality of life, quality of living, and all that kind of stuff. And I looked up Chapel Hill, and I was going to send it to Tommy. They were like top 5 gingivitis and lice and civil disobedience,
COVID,
huge
increases in COVID,
petty larceny, vagrancy, like it's just all kinds of stuff. I was like, you should see this before you before you. I sent him that. No, but I agree with you. Like, he's embraced all of us, and the fact that, again, this is an embraceable team. You feel like you can fully get behind this team, this coaching staff. They do it the right way, whatever that may mean to anybody. But I'm just like, I'm happy when I say he's our coach. He's the University of Arizona basketball coach. Like, I'm just happy as hell. He's our coach right now.
Yep, no doubt. So fingers crossed for Saturday.
Fingers crossed for Saturday. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna let you run. I always appreciate the time. I appreciate the quarter zips too.
Thank you. Yeah, do you want one?
No. I have like 5. That's enough. I think maybe even you gave me some. I was like, hey, I've got enough quarter zips. Who decides which quarter zips you guys wear on a nightly basis for the games?
We finally simplified it. Khalid Robinson on our staff, he decides, but this year we just simplified it. Blue, black. That's it. We only have 2
That's
outfits.
What it is.
Yep, and we just go back and forth. So
wow. Now, I'm going to take a wild guess here and say you're in favor of keeping the dress code as is for coaches in the NBA.
I am, because it's so convenient, especially when you go on a 6-game trip and you just, pack a couple of pairs of Lululemon slacks and 2/4 zips and you're good. That's pretty nice instead of 3 suits and 6 shirts and ties. And
Yeah.
but I will admit, when you see a video of a game from 20, 30 years ago, it looks way better when the coach has the suit on. It really does.
Yeah. Riley's not thrilled with the new dress
No,
code.
no. But as Spoelstra said, not everybody looks like Pat Riley wearing a suit.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Like, he looked about as good as you could look.
That's right.
The hair slicked back. He made the hair slick back look like he made it look a lot better than Randy Fund. Like, Fund didn't make it look nearly as good as Riley did. Like, Riley was solid. Like, Fund, you're like, Lavin, I don't know, but Riley definitely.
Riley, yeah.
All right, last one for you on the way out the door. Did any of Adam Silver's proposals for anti-tanking hit you one way? Because I couldn't understand them. I'm like, I don't even know what they mean.
I read the article once and I kind of thought for a second, and then I was like, no, I don't even want to try to figure this out. And I went on to the next article and I moved on. I have no idea.
Same. I'm like, what does this mean? I go, I was with you. I don't want to read it again.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it again. Just tell me when you've done something.
Yeah.
Just do something and then tell me when you've done something. Yeah, exactly. All right, Stephen Douglas, tell the family I said hi, and I will see you out there tomorrow night.
Sounds good.
All right, Stevie. Thanks, man. Bye. Appreciate it. There you go. The head coach of the Golden State Warriors. That's probably the least amount of time we've had like talking Warrior hoops. I think we covered a bunch of stuff though. If you like old NBA stories, you enjoyed that. Because that was a lot of NBA stories, a lot of old down memory lane NBA stories. So he killed me though. It's like some coaches like the 3-pointer. I was like, bro, that's you. Although it'd be different if Jimmy were healthy. Jimmy's healthy. They don't shoot as many threes. They get to the free throw line more, take a few more twos. And look, when your team's built around Steph Curry, you're going to shoot a lot of threes. Although when they're winning championships, they also shot a lot of mid-range shots too, whether it be Clay or KD, Iguodala, Livingston, guys like that, West. I mean, they had a bunch of guys that shot mid-range jump shots as well, especially during the playoffs. And so, one thing I wanted to bring up, I was going to ask him about the end of the Duke game too. Get his thoughts on that. Oh, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy that Hurley story came out where he headbutted the official Ayer, and Ayer was like, "What? I don't know. What are you guys talking about?" Like, they're like cool with each other. So it was like a huge nothing burger that everybody was trying to make a big deal out of. I was like, oh God, that was like, because it looked like, Dan Hurley being psycho and like kind of, but he's like, no, we're good. We're good. We've been good. We're always good. We're like joking each other during the game. We're like, so he goes, he just stopped by to tell me there's probably going to be 0.3, 0.4 seconds left on the clock. And Hurley, being the intense psychopath that he is, turned that into like almost a stare down moment. Like, but yeah, it was nothing, 0-0. So it's nice that Hurley was able to get that. So we know, right? No one's guessing now. No one's out there saying, oh man, can you imagine? Should have teed him up. We all thought it. Now you don't think it. You're like, oh, okay. All right. Well, nothing. We're good. We're all good. We're good. So hopefully Steph will be back. It sounds like not going to be against the Spurs. Maybe the next game, maybe Houston, Easter. Who knows? It'd just be fun to get him back. Does it mean much in terms of where they might go? Probably not. But how many times are you going to get a chance to watch Steph play from here on out? Like, hopefully a lot, but you never know with this knee thing. So he's one of the greatest players of all time. You want to watch him play. I was kidding last game when I told Tim, I go, Steph owes it to us. Get your ass back out there. It's a lot more enjoyable when you're playing. Get on the court, play. We need to be entertained. So it just, no matter what their record is, no matter what their playoff seeding is, you want to watch Steph play. You want to watch Steph play. And so what was the other thing I was going to mention? Oh, we can get into this next week as well, but it's going to be an interesting Rookie of the Year vote between Con Kneppel and Cooper Flagg. How'd Duke lose last year? By the way, you have 1-2 in Rookie of the Year. Oof. Duke's got some demons in those closets, like demons. Like, ooh, man, rough. But that's going to be an interesting vote between Cooper Flagg and Con Kneppel. So we'll talk about that next week, like who I would vote for. I'm not going to do it next week. We'll do that next week. So I did mention with Steve that Ohtani pitching tonight. That's always something to don't take that for granted. A guy that can hit and pitch and doing it in the same game. Like, not like I take much pleasure in watching the Dodgers play. I'm not Steve in that regard. But I mean, there's one of one. And he's incredible at both things. So when you get a chance to watch him, you got to take that opportunity. And it's okay. You just root against him. I root for the Guardians tonight. Root for the scrappy Guardians against the Dodgers. They took them down last night 4-2. Giants get their first win last night 3-2. It looked like it was going to be like just, hey, hand ride all the way through. Jackson Merrill 2-run home run. And I'm still not sure about Walker as a closer. Seems like a good dude. Stuff seems good. It just, I hate that slider going into lefties. It reminded me of the Sergio Romo slider. It's a lot harder, a lot stiffer, but it just seems like the left-handed swing and the way it's coming in. So we'll see. Not like they have a ton of options, but we'll see. I'm just not optimistic. Maybe that's why they didn't name him their closer. He's not their closer, and maybe they'll go in a different direction. And so we'll see. But yeah, that wasn't great. But get your first win. Vitello gets his first win. Everybody can breathe a little bit easier now. Although it's not like you lit it up. You got 3 runs. So at some point, the offense will get going. I'm going to keep saying it until it does. It's got to get going at some point. All right. We got any questions, comments? We can do that. We can take a few of those before we get on out of here. And what do we got? Bill? Like, we just had Bill on. That Bill? It's been a while. It's been like 5 days. We just had Billy Martin on. Again, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing a different Bill that we're talking about. Did somebody just like ring the doorbell? I don't know. Somebody else can get that. I got a doorbell going on. I got a snoring dog. Adam, I agree with you. I agree. Right now, they're close. It's really close, but Knippel's team's winning. Knippel's team's going to be in the play-in. Knippel's team is 6 games over 500. So that's who I would go with right now. It's just winning's got to mean something. Now, I think Cooper Flagg is going to eventually win an MVP in this league at some point. I don't know that Con Kneppel will ever do that. I think Cooper Flagg's a better player than Con Kneppel. But as far as Rookie of the Year, are you helping your team win? Is your team going to get to the playoffs, play in, whatever? That's got to factor in. It has to. So I'm with you. I would take him. And it's not like the gap between their years is wide. Like, they both had really, really good years. But I agree with you. Are we looking at the next to last? I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I think if he is relatively healthy, I mean, he could probably play another 4 years, 3, 4 years. I mean, this guy works and he's always in great shape. You watch him. I mean, after games, I'll go say hi to Steve after the games, walk through the weight room. This dude's putting in the work. A lot, everybody else is too. Uh, but he's a shooter. Like those guys age differently than guys inside. But how many miles does he put on those ankles, on those knees? He moves so much. He runs so much. All the extra games he's played in the playoffs. Like I would love to see a stat showing how many miles he's run in his NBA career. It'd probably blow you away. So I don't know. Is this like runner's knee, like a thing that's like always going to be there? Does a summer take to kind of alleviate it? Can you get rid of it altogether? I don't know. I don't know the answer to these questions. I know he loves to play, wants to play, but we'll see. I mean, that's just I couldn't even answer that. Not sure about Walker either. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he could have. He could have. I mean, it's possible. Uh, Again, I'm not going to read too much into it. This isn't me thinking, okay, going into this year, I was cool with Ryan Walker, and after one game, I'm like, oh no. This goes back to last year. At the end of last year, the last month and a half of the season, I just never was comfortable, really, with anybody but Rodriguez. Duvall, I wasn't comfortable with. He's pitching for the Yankees, lower leverage situations like sixth, seventh, eighth. I never was comfortable with him in the ninth. Remember how good Camilo Duvall was like in the seventh, eighth inning with the Giants? And then they put him in the closer role and wah, wah, wah. It's a different animal. It's a different animal pitching in the ninth inning. Some guys can handle it, some guys can't. But as far as Walker, this goes back to last year. So I'm willing to be proven wrong. It'd be nice if I was. It's the worst. It's the worst getting into the ninth inning and blowing a game. I mean, it just takes the wind right out of the sails. Like, hey, we played a great game, clean defense, good hitting, got the lead, clank, and you lose. So we'll see. Again, it's one game. But to me, it's not just one game. It's one game, and it was also like the last month or so of last season where it's like, not sure. Would I take OKC, Spurs, or the field? I'll take OKC and the Spurs. You can have the field. You can have the field. So you get the Celtics. You get the Pistons with Cunningham should be back. And then the rest of the West, I can't see. I mean, the Lakers to me are still, even though the defense has been better, I still can't see them. Like, I don't know. And then the rest, Denver's been, I mean, Jokic is, I'll go those two. I didn't realize until last night the Spurs were 25-2, their last 27. Like, they just don't lose. I knew they didn't lose, but I was like, God dang, that's incredible. Like, they're really good. OKC is really good. I think those are the two best teams in the league. So, but yeah, I would take Spurs and OKC, and I'll give you the field. You can have the field, even though I think Boston could be really dangerous. And I don't want to undersell Detroit. Detroit kind of came out of nowhere a little bit this year, so I think we're all looking at them like, are they really legit? They're pretty good. That's a really good team. And Cade Cunningham is like, remember, he's a blue chipper, first overall pick. Didn't pay much attention to him because he wasn't quite as good, and the team kind of wasn't good. Now the team around him is good, and he's like maturing. It's like, ooh, yeah, I got it. Guess my grandson just came over. He's just screaming out there for some reason. He's like, what's going on? Going on? I hear it all. Like everybody, doorbells ringing, dogs snoring, Kai's like yapping. And so, all right, a couple more, then I'll get on out of here. And then Friday, I think is when we're going to do our next show. Drew Amenda is going to join us Friday. We'll talk a little Sharks hockey. Maybe we'll have another guest. Yeah, I don't know. The Knicks to me are just, I can't get around the Knicks. And I love Brunson. And like the starting five is really good. Josh Hart's one of my favorite players in the league. I like Anunoby a lot. I don't know where Towns fits on that team. I'm not sure if Towns. It seems like when I watch him play now, he's just kind of like a rebounder, maybe a third option on offense, second, third option on offense, and yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. But I wouldn't take them ahead of the Pistons or the Celtics, and I certainly wouldn't take them like to win the championship. Could they? Yeah, I mean they could. They're skilled enough, and you got a closer in Brunson. Brunson's a certified badass when it comes to the last couple minutes of the game. Like he could just take over. He gets up shots. He can draw fouls. He can get to the lane. He can hit threes. He can create for others. Like you got to have a guy like that in those situations. Like who is your closer? Who's the guy we're going to get the ball to and say, get us something? They have one of those dudes. Detroit has Cunningham. Celtics have two of them, but I'd say it's probably Brown, especially this year over Tatum. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, of course. I'm not really sure who the Spurs like in crunch time playoff situations. Like you can run pick and roll like a Fox, a Wemby pick and roll, Castle Wemby pick and roll, and space out your shooters. So I don't know. Obviously Luka. So most teams have them. Wemby's incredible. He's absurd. I've seen him play so much now, and I still, when I watch him play, I'm like, holy, that can't happen. It's like watching my former teammate Manu Bol be like coordinated and be like a 6'7" guy. That's what Wemby is. He's like a 6'7" guy you just stretched out, like Stretch Armstrong just went. You stretched him out to like 7'5" and just said, "Go get him," and he does it. Dude, his fingers. He could probably pick locks with his fingers. It's just like E.T. They're so long and incredible. Anyway, all right, we're gonna get on out of here. Bear down. Can't wait to watch the game. I'm a little nervous. Michigan's really good, but so are we. Like Arizona is really, really good. And again, it's like Clash of the Titans. They both do the same things. They're both physical. They're both dominant. They're a little bit different. Like I said, I think Arizona's better on defense. I think Michigan has more diversity on offense. But it's going to be fun. It is going to be a fun game. I'm expecting a barn burner. So hopefully we'll get that this Saturday. Everybody, be safe out there. Sometimes unexpected rain catch people off guard and they're not paying attention. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, damn, that's too bad. So be careful out there. All right. Pay attention to what you're doing out there. Roads are probably going to be a little slick out there. So everybody have a great night. Thank you very much for joining the show. I really appreciate it. Always do. Let's thank our sponsor, Fieldwork. If you guys are out and about, and by the way, 50% off today. So if you have like you're getting off work right now, you're just like driving around going, yeah, maybe I'd go pick up a 4-pack, or maybe I can go have, hang out with some buddies and have a pop. Patrick Bailey, RBI last night. 50% off your draft beer, non-alcoholic craft beer. They are the official non-alcoholic craft beer of the San Jose Sharks. And when Tyler Toffoli scores, which I don't think he did last. I think Tyler Toffoli is still on the shelf, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to have to look that up because I wonder if Tyler Toffoli scored, can you get like 100% off? You get like 50% off for Tyler Toffoli, 50% off for, I'm going to have to run that one by Barry. 50% off your Patrick Bailey. Let's see here. I don't think he was, let me see. I know last I checked, he was there. Celebrini had a monster game. 2 goals and assist. Was it like the 4th or 5th, 6th teenager to go over 100 points? There is Toffoli. Oh, he did. He had 2 assists. Go in there and tell them you want 100% off your beer. Go, I get 50% off for Bailey. Then I get 50% off for Toffoli. So that's like what, 25%? At least you should get 25%. Tell them Tolbert math. Tell them, look, Tom Tolbert math said 50% of 50%, 25. So 25% for this beer. What do you say? Should we do it? Let's shake on it. You got 2 Toffoli assists. You got a pat. That's immediately what I thought of last night too. I got to start tweeting this stuff out. 50% off of Pods gets 30 points. Well, they don't have a collaboration with the Warriors just yet. But yeah, it was good to see Bailey get that hit last night. Sharks get the win over the Blues 5-4. And yes, Macklin Celebrini, I just the year he's had continues to get more and more and more amazing. So there you go. Please go by Fieldwork. They have amazing beer. You know the reason. I'm a huge Fieldwork guy, not just the beer. They love animals too. And the causes that they stand behind are causes that I can get behind. And I love the fact they're in conjunction with Berkeley Humane Society, No Kill Shelter. So I'm totally down with that. I love the mission. I love the beer. I love that they love the animals. So of course it's natural for them to be our sponsor. So head on by Fieldwork, get yourself at a minimum 50% off. I think it should be more. I think it should be more, but that's not up to me. Tom Tolbert said it should be more, and you'll see what you can get. So thank you for joining the show, everybody. I really, really, really appreciate it, and we will talk to you on Friday. See you.
And remember this, Tommy T, cash and tickets is what it's all about.